Hello, I'm Entralism, and welcome to City Skylines. This is a mod like City Skylines. Today we are looking at Bordered Skylines, formerly Border Cities 2, which was of course formerly Border Cities. This mod is really kind of badass. It allows you to put an edge, a sort of a cartoony edge ink style outline on most of the buildings in the game. So as you can see here, this is it without, and if I enable it, you can see we get this slight edge. You might need to be on a high resolution video playing to be able to really see this edge properly, but there is a slight edge on these buildings, and if we turn it off, toggle it, you can see that there is a definite edge. I do really like it on the bridges, by the way. The bridges look pretty badass with it enabled. It really does add some nice emphasis to those cables. Now, this mod is pretty simple to use. You just install it as per usual through the Steam Workshop, and then when you first go into the game, it will go, what do you want for your hotkey? You can change your hotkey, you can leave the hotkey as a default, whatever, and then you are, pretty easy to go. You can just hit the hotkey, you can hit enable, disable, and it just picks up what settings it should be using. And this mod is also designed, though, to work with the Dynamic Resolution mod, which allows it to get some much cooler, cartoony style effects. Now, those of you who saw the Dynamic Resolution mod on my mod light last time will realize that it has a massive frame rate impact, especially on my PC. So, while I probably wouldn't recommend playing it like we're going to currently play it, it may be up to you depending on what graphics card and what screen size you're using. So, if I go to the Dynamic Resolution mod, I won't go over this in detail since we went over it last time. There is two modes for the Border Skylines. There is the Auto Sobel mode, which we are currently using. I believe it's called Sobel, which provides a little bit of an outline. And then there is the triangle-based mode, which is recommended for 175% dynamic resolution or above. So if we enable 175, apply, you can see our frame rate is tanking. And then we go back to Bordered Cities. Ooh, that frame rate. You will see this really cool effect happen as soon as I say, Border Cities, I would like you to change from using the Auto Sobel mode. So currently we have Auto Sobel mode on. It's not particularly prevalent when you're on a higher resolution because the outline isn't as thick. If we go to switch to plug and play mode, it automatically detects what it should be using. And it goes, okay, using 175% dynamic resolution or above, and it automatically goes, right, I'm going to switch to triangle mode. And you can see that it says here, currently in auto triangle. If we quickly just close that so you can see a better view of the screen, you can see that we've got a much more cartoony Borderlands style effect. I really like it, especially on this building. Look at this building. This building looks amazing. Like that little black outline. I really, really love how it looks. These buildings look really badass. If we have a little fly over here. Sorry about the frame rate. These buildings over here look badass as well. I adore this mod, especially with the Dynamic Resolution mod. Problem is, of course, the frame rate tanks to such an extreme, I can't really use the Dynamic Resolution mod, but it looks incredibly cool. Now, you can choose to use triangle mode with less dynamic resolution, but the effects aren't quite as pretty. You can choose to use Auto Sobel mode on this mode, but the Auto Sobel isn't quite as thick, and it becomes not as prevalent. Let's just switch down back to 100%. Let's just hit reset, actually. There we go. You can see that we've got a much more jagged outline here, where we've got the triangle mode enabled. Oh, for some people that'll work. I love it. I adore this mod. It's really, really nice. For a game that's really going on a slightly cartoony art style, or at least a slightly sort of abstract art style, it's not going for photorealism to begin with. I do like the cartoon art style. I've always liked the Borderlands style of cartooniness. And it works really nice in game. And it has basically a very negligible frame rate impact running it without the Dynamic Resolution mod. So I don't think you have to fear this for performance. Now, of course, if we just say plug and play, it will detect we're not in Dynamic Resolution anymore, and it will go back to Auto Sobel mode. So let's just close that. Auto Sobel isn't quite as pronounced. Auto Triangle is much more pronounced, but you really do need the Dynamic Resolution mod to really get the full whack out of it. So let's just toggle this on and off a few more times so you can see it. There we go. Gone. On. Gone. On. Particularly noticeable against things like the water and so on, especially with power lines. I love this mod. It has basically a negligible impact on your frame rate. If it's your style of thing, go for it. If not, then, whatever. It is, of course, an aesthetic mod. It's up to your personal tastes. But I've been Entralism. This has been Bordered Skylines, formerly Border Cities, or Border Cities 2. If you've enjoyed this mod light, then, like it and so on. If you found it interesting, please do like. And not subscribed? Well, please consider subscribing to be able to see more. But until next time, I've been Enter Elysian, and this has been Border City Skylines. Stay shiny.